Hello and welcome to another live stream. Welcome to another Amazon live Q&A. For those of you that are new to this channel and Amazon, my name's Simon. I'm a seven-figure Amazon seller. And yeah, I do these kind of Q&As every Monday, Wednesday, 8 p.m. UK time. To just answer any questions you guys have about Amazon, about business, about, I guess, me, if you really want to know, and just hang out and chat. And hey, Kevin, how's it going? Thanks for joining us. Thank you, Kevin, for coming on. we just come on and talk about Amazon and things like that. So it's all good fun. So if you guys have got any questions about Amazon, I am here to help you. And I'll give you, hopefully be able to help you if you with anything you've got, any kind of problems you've got, any questions you've got. And I'll just give you my honest opinion and my honest answer on anything you want to know. So a couple of interesting topics I want to talk about today is ungating. I've got a few little tips that I've heard, which are kind of interesting. So we'll talk about that, but I have to get to, let's say 20 concurrent viewers before I give out the juice on the ungating. No, it's fine. We'll get into that in a minute. We're just still a little bit earlier on. I see the Discord server is absolutely blowing up right now. I missed a load of chats. So yeah, if you're not already in there, there's a link in the description. You can jump in, join my community for free. You do have to give up your email to get access now, and that keeps out the spammers, which has worked really well actually. So you do have to get, and you get like a free little sourcing kit from me. So the ultimate sourcing kit is your kind of reward for giving the email and getting access to the community. But yeah, the community's been blowing up, honestly. I've had so many new people in the past. Well, every day I'm getting 10, 15 new people join. It's really good. So yeah, it's absolutely blowing up, which is fantastic. So if you're not already in there, definitely get in there. It's good, and we had some good discussions in there. People being very helpful, and it's awesome. So yeah, I guess let's have a look at how my Amazon's doing. It's only been Monday since I last talked to you guys, but yeah, I've got a few items that have come in actually that are kind of selling quite nicely. One of them is a DKNY perfume. For those of you that don't know, DKNY went hard gated. So they said, anything you've got in Amazon right now, you need to get sold before, I think it was like the 1st of November, something around the 1st, 2nd of November. So we've got I've got a month and 2 weeks, two and a half weeks left, which is not too bad. But yeah, one of my ones, everyone else is sold out now. It's pretty much just me and a bunch of FBM sellers. So that's actually selling really nicely now, which is good. So that's coming in, and I was just expecting to break even on that one. Well, I just cleared it out, and actually now I'm making some okay money on it. I'm not getting too greedy because I don't want to get stuck with that stock coming back to me. I want to get it sold. So, I could put the price up a little bit. I think I'm just happy clearing it out where I am now and just being satisfied in clearing it out. So, that's pretty good. But let's have a look at the day. Today, it's not the best day, I'll be honest with you. That DKNY when I'm selling is about 7% ROI, so obviously not a great one, but I just need to get rid of it. And the fact I'm making money on it is pretty good. That's definitely hurting my ROI, but it's a bit of a slow day, as you can see. £146 profit for the day. Yeah, it's not the best. It's compared to yesterday especially, but it is what it is. Can't always have those big days. Well, I wish you could, but yeah. Let's have a look at yesterday. Yesterday was a little bit more successful, and then we'll take a look at the month. Yesterday was pretty nice. Again, I need to be sort of hitting. I want to be doing 10,000 a month, so I need to be doing about. What's that? 333 a day. 333 a day. So I'm a little bit off that actually. To be fair, to be doing 10,000 a month, but not a bad day anyway yesterday. And let's take a look at the month. We're over 5,000. That's pretty good. So yeah, not too bad really. And by the way, you guys got any questions, feel free to throw them out there. So this is how we're looking for the month so far. So yeah, I've got a little bit of work to do. I've got to get back to the sourcing, get some good products in again. And with Q4 coming up, I'm really starting to ramp up the sourcing again. But yeah, it's looking pretty good so far this month. A little bit behind where I'd like to be, but there we go. Cool. So 5,300 basically. Not too bad. So Jamil, hey, welcome. Thank you for joining the channel for the channel and the stream. Does Amazon always charge for collection via FBA? I'm not sure what you mean by collection. So when you're doing FBA, you have to send all your items in to Amazon into their warehouse. So it's a fairly nominal charge, I'd say. It costs like £4.50 to send like a 23 kilogram box. So not too bad really, but yeah. Then obviously when it comes to actually Amazon fulfilling the item and sending it to a customer, there is fees involved with that. Essentially shipping fees, essentially what it is. And yeah, so there is a fee there basically. But we've got calculators. We use tools to figure all this stuff out when we're buying and selling products, so that we know pretty much what profit we're going to make, including all those fees when we actually sell them. So is that what I just wanted to. Definitely just clarify it, just in case I've not answered the question there. Let me know. But yeah, hey Zara, how's it going? Hey Claudia, how's it going? Thanks for joining us. So Claudia was asking, how many brands have you seen get hard gated over the past 3 years? 10, maybe 10, 15, realistically, that I am aware of. I'm not saying there weren't more. There probably were, but I'd probably, off the top of my head, probably 10. 10 and 15. So not like a crazy amount. So the big ones recently were La Roche-Posay. Well, to be fair, so about a year ago, maybe a little bit more, La Roche-Posay, Vichy, Clinique all went hard gated in America. Normally what happens in America translates over to UK. Now, for whatever reason, only Vichy and La Roche-Posay were hard gated in the UK, and Clinique was still good. Now, very recently, Clinique has now gone hard gated in the UK as well. So... And weirdly enough, I think it was Vichy and La Roche-Posay became ungated for a short time. They went regated again. So there's that. Obviously, we've lost Ralph Lauren recently. We've lost CeraVe. We've lost a couple of others. I think Amazon just kind of testing things out, seeing what goes on. Hey, Harv, how's it going, buddy? Thanks for joining us. But yeah, it's not like we've lost a ridiculous number of brands that I'm aware of, but I'm not 100. Obviously, I don't get like a complete list of the ones that have been hard gated, but I'd say in the past 2 years that I'm aware of, 10, 15, maybe 20 brands realistically have been hard gated that I'm aware of. So it's not horrendous, to be fair. It does tend to be a lot of health and beauty brands. So yeah, and what's another one we had recently? I've got it on my server here. CeraVe, Ralph Lauren, Clinique, La Roche-Posay, Vichy. Oh yeah, DKNY is another one we lost. I was just talking about that. I'm selling up some old DKNY. I've got a very nice Clinique thing that I sell here that does very well, and I've only got 89 units left. That needs to be sold pretty quickly. But yeah, so hey, but how's it going? Thanks for joining us. But yeah, so, and do you think Amazon will hardgate even more big brands? I feel like that's pretty much it, Claudia. I'm not saying there won't be any, but I feel like that's going to be, for the most part, the only ones that are going to be hard-gated this year. Who knows? But I feel like that's going to be pretty much it. So Harv's asking, how's Q4 prep going? It's a little bit slow, actually. I have bought a few bits. I bought a few Gucci items. I bought a few Latefa items from Cogita. I've been a little bit cautious, I don't want to go massive, because I guess I was a little bit worried that things might go hard gated. I'm not sure if they will, but I don't want to get stuck with like a pallet of Gucci and they decide to hard gate it. But yeah, it's been pretty good so far, but at the same time a little bit slow. I definitely need to get back on it a bit more, and I've been focusing mainly on my mentoring program right now, just building that out. That launches on the 1st of October, so that's kind of taken up a little of my time really, but there's plenty of time for Q4, so we're okay. Building up funds, I suppose, and if I see any good deals on Cogita and stuff, I will be back onto that and buying perfumes in bulk, basically. But yeah, it's slow, but I bought a few bits here and there, so I've got a few bits in the haul there actually, which I'm not going to say what they are, but yeah, but yeah, not too bad. What about yourself, mate? Is it all going well for Q4? How's it going for you, mate? And how's it going, everyone else, by the way? Bert, Claudia, Zara, Jamil, Kevin. Hope you're all well. Hope Amazon's going well for you. Hope it's doing well. Hope you're crushing Amazon, making lots of money. Basically, that's what we're here to do, aren't we? We're here to make loads of money, ideally. Well, that's what I'm here for anyway. When it comes to Amazon. Jamil's answered. Yeah, appreciate. No problem. What categories you are doing well, worth getting into? Electronics, clothing, personal things. Yeah, I mean. Essentially, I buy and sell anything I can make money on. Now, when it comes to kind of seasonality, Q4, I do kind of drill down a little bit just into kind of perfumes, aftershaves, gift sets type things. I mean, obviously electronics, video games, giftable items, socks, I don't know, they all do well. I've just had another sale there. So that's why my eyes so let's all get refreshed. So, you know, I do kind of focus down realistically on just the perfumes I've shared, because that's enough for me, really. But yeah, during the year, I pretty much buy anything, everything. I mean, within Cogita, that's health and beauty. So if you don't know what Cogita is, it's like a wholesale platform. We've got access to, I think it's 600 wholesalers from all over Europe now. And basically you can order from there, and it is pretty much, it's health and beauty. So that's an area that I am quite heavily into. But I will buy electronics. Certain ones I will avoid unless the profits are insane. So gaming headsets, for example, I won't touch those with a barge pole unless I'm making 100% ROI on those, you know, because the returns are horrendous. Gaming controllers used to be really good, but I think people do switcheroos on them. I do sell things like hair straighteners and stuff that I've got on like Amazon to Amazon and things like that, but the return rates, I've just got one today returned. You know, I don't know what it is with hair straighteners, why people are unsure about, but get them and return them. I've got no idea. But yeah, so I sell anything. I was quite heavily into Nike sneakers for a while. Back, I don't know when I finished that actually. But yeah, I was into that for a while. Spent about £250,000 on Sports Direct on Nike sneakers. Until they said no more. said that's your limit, basically. So that kind of killed that one. That's the only place I was able to really get any sneakers at scale. Although I did buy some from Nike Direct until I got banned. I did buy some from other places. I obviously even went into the Nike outlet stores and bought some sneakers there as well. So, but it's really hard to, you know, you're looking at £250,000 in Sports Direct, and then you're talking, you know, minuscule little numbers doing these kind of like other places. So I moved away from that, even though it was a very profitable, very good niche, to be fair. But yeah, so my advice is go in with anything and everything, and you'll probably figure out which kind of categories you end up liking. You might just be a generalist and just buy anything and everything, or you might decide, hey, I want to move into a certain category. So when I was doing sneakers, by the way, it was such an easy gig for me. I was just buying these 2 pairs of sneakers from Sports Direct. One was black, one was white, and then it was just all the sizes in between. It's 14 sizes from 6 all the way to 14. And basically, I was just literally just restocking those, using all my money to restock. There was such a good deal. I just kept restocking. I literally just lived off that for probably 7-8 months, just those 2 items. And I was doing a few other bits as well, but they were the primary ones. But yeah, so you can definitely go into anything you want, really. But I'd say go where the deals are and start wide, and then you can narrow down and get more specific as you go through your Amazon journey. But so you see the video from Nikos regarding Amazon taking over tech sales for Q4. I did, yes. I've actually got a podcast with Nikos tomorrow, by the way, so watch out for that. It'll be released either tomorrow evening or Friday, I'm not sure. But yeah, I'm doing that with Nikos at 3 p.m. Or 3:15, I think it is. But yeah, so that'll be good to catch up with Nikos. But yeah, I did see that, and there's a few brands that I wouldn't necessarily taking over, but they're regating some brands like Samsung, Microsoft, and I can't remember the other one as well. Samsung, Microsoft. I can't remember the other one. Microsoft, I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of those Xbox controls and stuff like that are already transparency coded, so you can't really sell those. I mean, you got Microsoft laptops, other bits and bobs, but yeah. And then Samsung, I think you just have to... Is it Samsung? I can't remember. No, it's Sony, sorry. Sony, yeah, it was Sony. Yeah, there's a few little bits. Look, it's just like with health and beauty. Everyone was like complaining when La Roche-Posay and Vichy went. I mean, they were really good. La Roche-Posay was a great brand, for example. But you evolve and you adapt, basically, and you find other opportunities, you know. So it'll be the same with electronics things. If you can't sell Sony, you can't sell... it was Sony and Microsoft, and I can't remember the other ones. But yeah. It might not have been Samsung. I can't remember. But yeah, so not too overly concerned, to be fair. I think Amazon's just doing a little bit of a correction right now, but I think it'll ease up a bit. So I hear you. Is it worth building a brand on Amazon or sticking to buying and selling? So what you're saying with building a brand is essentially private label, is pretty much where you are essentially building your own brand. Now, that I think is a great strategy. And again, Nikos has been mentioned there. He teaches this essentially. If you check out on YouTube, Nikos Marco. Basically, he's a great guy who teaches you how to do private label. Now, I think private label is a great strategy, but I don't think it's a good strategy for beginners. I do not like wholesale. I do not like brand direct, and I do not like private label for beginners. for multiple different reasons. One, you basically you need decent funds to do that. So unless you've got like 20-30 grand to start, it's probably not the right move for you. Second one is, even if you've got 20-30 grand, if you make a mistake buying 10 grand's worth of whatever, and you can't return it, or you get heavily hammered by the wholesaler or whatever, or if you buy something from China for 10 grand, it's the wrong product and you've cocked up somehow, you're then stuck with a huge amount of stock you have to sell for a massive loss, or you can't even sell it all, really. So I don't like it for that reason. I also think as well, it adds a complexity into Amazon that you don't need right now. If you do my model, which is on, and it sounds like I'm just selling this, but like if you do online arbitrage, which is the thing that I teach and promote, you don't need to promote your brand. It's hard enough learning Amazon and getting to grips with Amazon when you're starting without having to deal with like creating listings, without having to deal with ad spend, without having to deal with photography, the descriptions, all the bits around that basically, and trying to build a brand as well as build an Amazon business. So I personally think online arbitrage is best, because if you make a mistake, if I go and buy something from Sports Direct, right, and I get it to my home and I'm like, oh, it's a bad buy actually, I can just send it back and get a refund. There's like zero risk involved. I'm not saying zero risk, but it's extremely little risk. And of course, when I'm buying something from Sports Direct or John Lewis or wherever I'm buying from, I can buy 1 unit, I can buy 2 units, I can buy 10 units. When you're doing wholesale, private label, brand direct, you have to buy pallet loads, hundreds or thousands of units. So when you don't know what you're doing, the risk is ridiculous. Now, I'm not saying they're bad models. I think once you've gotten used to Amazon, you've been doing Amazon 6 months a year, you understand the platform, how Amazon works, how everything, you understand the buy box, you understand all the nuances within Amazon, all that kind of stuff. It's fine to then transition into those kind of models. I think they're great models. I just don't think they're great models for beginners. So I personally reckon that online arbitrage is the best, basically, for beginners, 100%. For all those different reasons I mentioned. You don't need much money. You are essentially having zero risk, because if you make a bad buy, send it back. And you can make some good money on it as well. So yeah, and also it doesn't overcomplicate matters as well. If you're selling Nike sneakers, you don't have to promote Nike. You don't have to spend money advertising Nike. People know what Nike is, so you don't have to worry about building a brand and promoting a brand and doing ad spends and optimizing your listings and stuff, because the listing's already there. People are already searching for Nike, so it makes it easier essentially. And yeah, that's pretty much it, I suppose. Yeah, so that's my little speech on that. Sorry, get a bit carried away. But yeah, at the end of the day, the reason I like Amazon is because, and online arbitrage is because you don't have to find customers. The customers already exist on the platform. And when you're doing your own brand, while the customers are already there, technically they're not looking for your brand unless you promote it. So that's why I like Amazon online arbitrage as a beginner business. It's the gateway business, and then definitely, if you want to, you can either carry on scaling online arbitrage to crazy numbers, or you can then transition after a year or so into private label, wholesale, brand direct, whatever it is. But yeah, it's a risk reward thing, and just I guess an ease as well, and odds of success are way higher doing the model that I teach personally. But I'm not going to poo-poo those ideas. They are great. Private label, online private label, wholesale, and brand direct are really good models. They're just not for beginners. Right, that's enough about that. So yeah, that's my opinion on that one. So it's a very long answer. How do you sell an existing brand without being called generic? You just do not. You're not. So what I do. So I basically only ever created one listing in my entire lifetime, and I don't think I ever sold on it. You basically are selling on existing listings. So if you want to take, you can't sell iPhones, for example. If you're going to take an iPhone. Here, there's an existing listing for this. So once you board it, you just basically sell on that existing listing. And if you go on there and look at some listings, you'll see there's multiple sellers on there. You'll be one of those sellers. It's for, so most of the stuff, the Amazon listings already exist, and you sell on that. So they've already got a sales rank. They've already got people on them. Other sellers, they've always got people searching for them already. They've already been created for you. So yeah, you don't sell on generic brand. Basically, you sell on existing listings. It's not like eBay where you have to create your own listing. Imagine there's already a listing there for an iPhone. Then everyone sells on the same listing, essentially. And yes, you do need... some brands are what we call auto-ungate. So they are essentially... You can just click request approval and it will approve you right away and you can sell the brand. Other ones require invoices from a retailer or distributor or wholesaler. It's now between 10 and 100 units. But you can just buy from someone like John Lewis. Anywhere that gives you a invoice is good enough to ungate. So John Lewis, Sports Direct, Notino, Look Fantastic, all these different places to give invoices, and you can use that to ungate. So, and you don't need to ungate with the exact item that you're planning on selling. So, for example, a good Lego ungate, even if you might be planning on selling some massive expensive sets, you can just buy 10 minifigures from Lego.com, another place you can ungate from, by the way, because they give invoices. I need to slow down. And then buy from Lego 10 minifigures, use the invoice to ungate, and you're good to go on that brand, basically. But yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much that one. Yeah, so you can obviously tell I enjoy talking about this topic. I get a bit carried away. Sorry if it's a bit mumbly. But yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it, essentially. And I'll be honest, ungating right now is a bit of a pain on Amazon. They are rejecting a lot of things. You just need to be persistent and keep trying to ungate those brands, essentially. It does take 20 to 30, 50 attempts. A few little tips and tricks I'm going to give you in a minute. Remind me to tell you guys. We've got 9 viewers so far. I was hoping we'd have like 900 now. But yeah, we'll definitely talk about some of those tips, actually, that I've heard. I'm testing out one right now. We'll see if it's going to work to ungate. I'm going to take a sip of my drink first, and then I'll tell you. Keep you waiting. So, there's actually a tip I got from, I don't know if I should say actually, but yeah, I got a tip anyway from someone. And they said, try and ungate your brand in a different region. So I'm actually trying this right now with Michael Kors. I've tried to ungate it multiple times in the UK, and I thought, you know what, I'll try it in France. So I've logged into the France Amazon, and I've done it through there. And right now, unless things have changed, let me just actually check. About 8 hours later, it's still under review. So it's not been like auto rejected. Yeah, I can see it's still under review. So that is another way I'm trying it, is you've got all the tricks of like turning it upside down, degrading the quality so that bots can't read it, or even going through a different region. So I'll let you know how it goes, basically, but it could be one worth trying. And see. So I've just tried it today. I thought, you know what, I'll try Michael Kors again, try and get that ungated through France, and then see, maybe I'll try through Germany. I don't know, we'll have to see, basically. See if I can get it ungated, and in theory that should then translate over to UK as well. So we'll have to see. It's been a while since I've done the ungate. I seem to remember with Nike I had to ungate UK, and then I had to ungate all the other regions, but we'll see what happens anyway. I'm not sure. Yeah, so that's the little tip there. But yeah, ungating right now is a bit of a pain, but I think it is meant to be getting easier at some point. Who knows when? It'd probably be Q1 next year. But yeah, so Jamil, are you brand new to Amazon? And I guess you've not sold anything, and I guess you've just been kind of researching and looking into this. And how's that journey going for you, mate? Is this the first video you've seen of me? Have you seen any of my other videos and stuff like that? I've just got a message from someone. Let's just quickly answer this one. But yeah, and another thing, we're talking about Q4 as well. I've seen a few people actually on YouTube. Someone's asking if they can ring me. Yeah, so a few people had a bit of a discussion recently in the community. People were asking, how do you send hazmat items into Amazon? Now, hazmat items are essentially just flammable items that are considered like hazmat, essentially, or DG, and these are essentially perfumes, aftershave, because they're flammable. Technically, they're, one second. No problem. Cool, right. Not reply to that anymore. So yeah, anything that's kind of flammable. So it sounds worse than it is, really. Aerosol cans, again, because they're kind of pressurized. Things like that. Now, what I normally say to people is when you're starting out Amazon, you should definitely prep in-house, I think, to begin with, if you're able and you have the space, just to learn the process and things like that. But when it comes to doing hazmat, it gets trickier because you have to send the items in yourself and you have to pay for your own shipping when you're doing hazmat. So, when you're sending in iPhones or whatever, you can't sell Apple, but just as an example, you can book the partner carrier with Amazon. So they'll give you a really cheap UPS label and you can send that item into Amazon. When it comes to doing hazmat items, DG items, you cannot use that. Basically, you have to book your own one. So it becomes really expensive, and you're not allowed technically to send hazmat items through UPS and things like that, which people do. They take a risk on it, and if it gets lost, you're basically going to get no money back. So I do recommend basically using a prep center from day one if you can for hazmat items. So you can keep everything else in-house, keep that money in-house, but definitely, especially with Q4 coming up where there's a lot of perfumes, aftershaves, hazmat items being sold because they sell crazily well during Q4, use a prep center for these basically. Definitely use a prep center. So, and if you want a recommendation for one, that was someone asking before, Your Prep Mate is the one I'd recommend you go for, guys. So even if you don't plan on using them all the time for normal items and you just want to use them for hazmat, definitely get in touch with those guys, open an account, say that I sent you, and they'll look after you. And yeah, basically that's the one to use, basically. Yeah, so I've always recommended essentially always using a prep center for hazmat items. And keep everything else in-house if you want to help you save your capital, save your money, keep the money in the business. You know, it's yeah, and then basically, yeah, for hazmat items, it's just too risky because you guys know perfumes. And I mean, obviously there's you get cheap ones, you get expensive ones, but an average perfume might cost £30 or £25 to buy. I mean, they're only little things, and then you can fit a lot in a box, and if you've got 10 of them in there, you're at £250, 20, you're at more. So before you know it, you maybe have between £500 and £1,000 of value in that box. And if you can't insure it and it goes missing, it could cripple your business because UPS will not refund you. Because you've technically sent a hazmat item through that you shouldn't have. So yeah, use a prep center for this kind of stuff. Cool. Yeah, so hey, Red Vic, how's it going? Thanks. You were on last week, not last week, on Monday. I appreciate you coming on again. How are you doing? I'm very good, thank you. Do you just do Amazon FBA or do you sell on different websites too? That's an interesting question, actually. Right now, I only sell on Amazon. I have dabbled briefly on eBay, but only really just to sell items that came back that were kind of damaged or used by customers, or maybe I've had some overstock that wasn't selling very well on Amazon. I've kind of shut that down though, just because it was a bit of a pain to manage. I actually was on a call today with, it was a TikTok Cogita sort of collaboration call. They had invited me to come onto this call to discuss selling on TikTok. So TikTok, I'll be honest, I do put videos out occasionally on TikTok. I don't understand TikTok. I'm too old for that. But they were just talking about the platform on there and TikTok Shop and stuff like that, and and how it's growing. And they even have something called FBT. So you'll notice I've now bought FT. Well, if you won't know, but I've bought FBTmogul.com. Because it stands for Fulfillment by TikTok, which is like FBA Mogul. It doesn't have the same ring to it, but anyway, because it's something I actually was watching it and I went into it and I was like, TikTok. I don't understand TikTok, but then I went into it and I was like, you know what, this actually looks really exciting. So it's something I will look into. I just don't have time right now. My main focus right now is my mentoring program, which I'm building. That is my main focus, and so that's going to start on the 1st of October. So that's pretty much my main focus. That is pretty much it. Then it'll be doing Q4, like secondarily to that. So, and then TikTok maybe in the new year. Maybe if I can, maybe I've got one item I'd like to sell on TikTok. Maybe I'll give it a go with one item. But yeah, it's something I'll look into the future. It could be very interesting. I need to learn about how to do TikTok, which is the whole thing really, and how it works and stuff. But yeah, it looked pretty exciting to me. But no, I just do Amazon FBA basically. Is the only platform I sell on. Hey Cameron, I'm very good, thank you. Appreciate you coming on. So I'm currently doing OA. Awesome, it's the best one I think. If I was purchase from Cogita, is that classed as wholesale? Ooh, I consider it a mixture of OA and wholesale. Technically it is wholesale because you're buying from wholesale, but you're also ordering from a website, so it's a bit of a hybrid. It's a bit of a hybrid between OA and wholesale, to be fair. So I do think it's more like OA. It pretty much is on an arbitrage, to be honest with you, apart from one thing, and that is Cogita, you can't do returns. So unlike with a normal site like John Lewis or whatever, where you can return the items, with Cogita, once you've made the order, there's no returns essentially, unless of course there's a problem or anything like that. But yeah, so in that regard, it's a hybrid. I think it's a hybrid. It's just as accessible as OA because you can just log on, create an account, use the code FBA Mogul when you're creating the account, by the way, or if you've got an existing account, you can go into your account promotion codes on the left hand side, I think it is, or promo codes, put FBA Mogul in there, all capitals, You should get hopefully you'll get a credit if you're an existing customer. If you're a new customer, you'll definitely get £100 credit on there. And yeah, you can use that. But yeah, it's a mix basically. It's a mix. It's honestly, for Q4, Cogita is going to be the absolute bomb. Basically, it's going to be the best place to buy from, because you can get perfumes, aftershaves, gift sets, health and beauty, all that kind of stuff that sells ridiculously well. It just does. You can buy it in bulk, and it's going to do, honestly, you're going to make so much money if you buy from there, as long as you buy right, of course. But yeah, and if you want to know how to buy right, go and look at some of my other sort of videos on Cogita. I've done some lives, I've done some videos just teaching you how to source Cogita. I've done a lot of lives on Cogita sourcing where I talk about my process, my thought process as well. So my actual process of sourcing, my thought process as I'm going through the sourcing, all that kind of stuff essentially. So yeah, but yeah, don't forget to use the code FBA Mogul, all capitals, when you're signing up, or say if you've got an existing account, you can get £100 free credit. Take it basically. If you DM me and you've created a new account, just DM me on Discord. I'll hook you up with a free lead for your first lead, or you can book a call in with me as well if you want, and I can help you get set up on Cogita, answer any questions you've got, or you can ask me now if you want, and go from there basically. But yeah, so it's a hybrid. It's a hybrid, I'd say. Yeah, but mostly skewed to OA, I think. It's good. The thing I like about it, and people say to me, oh, why don't you just go direct to the wholesalers? Well, one, you don't know who the wholesalers are. So they've got 600 wholesalers on there. That would be very hard to find. Two, a lot of them are in Europe, so then you've got a language barrier you have to deal with if you went direct, if you could even find them. Three, if you buy direct from a wholesaler in Europe, you have to deal with the shipping and the import fees and all that kind of stuff, and insurance as well, which will be very expensive, believe it or not, and you're not necessarily going to get the best price as well. The nice thing about going through Cogita is once you're at the checkout, you'll see the final price. It's just basically the price plus VAT. There's no shipping fees, no import fees. It's all included in there. It's all included in the price. Once you've paid that, they deal with everything. So they deal with the shipping. They obviously insure it. They deal with all the import fees. If you have any problems, you've got the warranty through them as well, so which in case they'll just refund you if there's any issues, like damage or anything like that. So yeah, that's all included. So you might end up paying maybe a tiny bit more than if you went direct, but then you get all those extra things on top. I mean, I've never imported a pallet of perfumes from Europe myself before, but I imagine there's a lot of paperwork involved with that, especially it being hazmat. I'll let Cogita deal with that, thanks. And I've done that before through Cogita, entire pallets of perfumes, aftershaves. Like I've literally had one. It was 2 pallets of some items come of literally perfume. Sorry, it's an aftershave, not perfume. But yeah, it wasn't a very expensive one, but it was still like 2 pallets worth. So yeah, it's very good. Basically, it's a very good platform. We just need a platform like Cogita for electronics and things like that. That'd be game changing, to be fair, and other categories. It'd be absolutely insane. But yeah, who knows if they'll go into those kind of categories or whether they'll just stay into health and beauty. I don't know. But yeah. So Cameron's saying, what's the best way to source through Cogita? So my opinion is, I've talked about this in other videos, but basically using Cogita Price Drops, which is a server run by my younger brother. I can throw you a link maybe in the I'll put a link, 1 second. I wasn't planning on doing this. QPD, can I get a link this way? So yeah, if you use this link here, and then use code FBA Mogul again, it's always FBA Mogul pretty much, you can get 25% off. So essentially what this does is it basically runs through the site every single hour and looks for price drops. So clearances, just price errors, just price drops, sales, anything like that, basically. And then what I do is I then throw that into RB-Source, which I'll throw you a link in here as well. Let me get the link for that. So it's a combination. And to be honest, book a call with me. Book a free call with me. And with this one, it's the code FBA Mogul 30. What I'll do is just get a quick little link up for you. Just book a call with me. And I can run you through it basically. It's a free call. It's 100% free. We can get you going. Let me get the link for the Cogita call set up. There we go. Just do that basically, and we can get you set up. So there you go. There's a link to book a call with me about Cogita. Hopefully you can't book one now, like right this hour. But yeah, and basically I'll just help you run you through it. Basically, it's probably easier. I mean, there's probably some existing people who are probably sick of me talking about Cogita, so we can definitely just go on. I can answer any questions and stuff. But yeah, basically you take the price drops, you put it into RB-Source, scan every hour. Basically, is the best way. You're looking for deals essentially. Yeah, so that's the best way. Yeah, Mossamat saying, sorry if I hope I pronounced that right. Mossam Matt. Sorry, yeah. Might be butchering that. Sorry, apologies. Cogito is best for price drops and buying stock there's limited quantity. Exactly, yeah. So you're looking for price drops, they say discount sales, that kind of thing, where they just got discounted like 100 units, you buy them all, the price goes back up to normal, and then you've got a bargain and no one else has got it, and then you don't have to worry about price tanking and stuff like that. So that's pretty much the best way that I find. Well, it's the only way that I source it, basically. I'm sure there are, like a thing on my t-shirt here. I'm sure there are other ways to source it. I know some people just run the entire catalogue and they find deals and stuff, but, you know, are they going to be crying in a month or so because that is tanked because there was too much stock available? You know, so I think my way literally just works the best, to be honest. And sometimes it's a little bit slow. Sometimes there's not, you know, in a day there's no deals. You've got to be persistent and consistent, and then if you do that, you'll be successful. Basically, I run out of money every month spending money on there. So yeah, you know, there's plenty of deals out there. It's pretty good. They've actually let me get a screenshot of it. Just announced actually. Let me get the screenshot, throw it up on the. So Cogito work really hard to improve the platform, to be fair. So they've just actually announced this. I'll put it on the screen. So basically, they just improved the marketplace invoice format for Amazon sellers. So they obviously realized Amazon sellers, mainly because of me, really, are a huge part of their customer base, and they want to do anything and everything they can to really make it good for us when it comes to having all the documentation in place for Amazon in case something goes wrong. So basically, they've just you get the Cogito invoice, you get the self-billing invoice, you get the supply chain letter as well. You get a document that explains how it all works to Amazon, and basically it spells it out to Amazon pretty much. You know, and how it all works essentially. And I know Cogito are working with Amazon now, or at least trying to. So they've got that communication. Amazon. So Cogito is a huge business, by the way. So I know some people are quite negative about it. And in Profit Suite, for example, they hate it. You know, but I feel like it's a few loud minorities that they're probably ordering on there themselves, and maybe I'm going to try and stop people ordering on that. I don't know what their issue is, but Cogito is a huge platform. I'm not saying they've not had their issues in the past. They definitely have. They're a platform that's growing rapidly, you know, ridiculously fast. So they've got growing pains, and there's definitely been some customer service issues in the past where they've been a bit slow, things like that, but they are definitely working hard to improve it. Like Charlie, who's my kind of liaison at Cogito, is honestly working so hard to boost the platform, and they're all working hard there. So it's just a great platform, to be fair. And if you're not on it, you are literally throwing money down the drain by not using it, to be honest. There are so many people, by the way, in Cogito price drops who just never talk, and they're just in the background. They've been subscribed since day one. Because I was talking to my brother the other day, and I was like, oh, how many subscribers you got in there? It's only about 20 at the moment. But he said, oh, these people have been here since day one, and they never talk. But they've obviously been in there all this time, and they're just probably just rinsing in the background, just running the scans, buying the deals, and just silently making money, essentially. You actually get a lot of people like that, even in my community, where they just never talk, but they lurk. You know, a lot of lurkers, where they just like to read and listen and don't necessarily want to interact, and and just silently accumulating money, essentially. So, it's interesting. But it's a good strategy, I suppose, to be fair. Cool. Why is it everyone messages me when I'm on live? Oh dear. My friends are messaging me about the Alien Earth, which I've been really enjoying, actually, not seen the latest episode. Who has the time to watch that? But any other questions, guys, let me know. Normally what happens in these lives is it kind of dies down a little bit now between now and 9, and then when I'm ready to kind of wind it up, everyone jumps back on at 9 o'clock and comes on, and then a load more questions flying, and I'm on here for another hour after that. So which is good, to be fair. I like it. So but that's a pattern I've noticed. Let's hope it happens again, I suppose. But if you've got any more questions, honestly, take advantage. You know, if you want to do my mentoring program, it's pretty expensive, but you get it all for free here, so you can just ask as many questions as you want and get it all for free. Or book a call with me if you want a free call, Cogito call or onboarding call, whatever you want to do. And if anyone who joins my server gets a free call. I mean, the server's free, by the way. Links for everything, by the way, is in the description. So you got the my Discord communities in there. Again, it's free. If you join, you can book a 15-minute free call with me. If you want to do Cogito, you can book a 30-minute free call with me. You've got what else is there? They've got the Cogito link. You got all that kind of stuff there. So I can't what other links there are. Oh, my Mac! I'm giving away a MacBook. So if you're not entered Cameron and Musmat and Ritvik and Jamil, go to the description. I've got a MacBook giveaway. I'm giving away a MacBook for Christmas. So I had it down here, but I gave it away to someone else, my developer. She needed a new MacBook. So I'm going to have to buy another one. But yeah, what color should I get? I got midnight blue last time. Everyone started moaning, saying you don't want that. So should I get starlight, midnight? You guys can decide. Whoever gives, whatever you say now, I'll buy, basically. You got silver, I think it is. Midnight blue. What are the colors? I don't remember. Let's go to Costco quickly, which is where I bought it from. MacBook Air. So I need to buy another one so I can promote it on my thing. I need the box. So there's a blue one, sky blue, silver, starlight, or midnight. Let me know whichever one you guys vote for. I will buy basically. The midnight one looks sick, but it does kind of gather fingerprints. Oh, Sky Blue's out of stock now. Actually, I have to get it from somewhere else. I don't know. Yeah, anyway, Sky Blue kind of interesting. Hey, Zion, how's it going? Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Cheers. How are you doing, buddy? How you doing? So Claudio's gone for silver. So right now it's one vote for silver. There we go. There we go. So we've got silver so far. Well, basically, at the end of this, I'll add up the totals of the colours, and I'll get that one, basically. I'll have to get midnight blue. The sky blue, because it's out of stock on here. I'll have to get it from another place, like from Amazon, something like that. Yeah, the MacBook I'm giving away, the MacBook Air 2025 M4 chip, 16 gig of RAM, 256. It is a freaking beast of a laptop, honestly. I was using the equivalent thing in Dubai. I was using a little Mac Mini, M4 Mac Mini. I think it had the same RAM. That thing was a beast. I was using it to do coding. I was using it to do video editing. I was running a what size monitor was it? Like one of those massively widescreen monitors, 40-something inch monitors. The thing didn't miss a beat. It was an absolute beast, and that's the same thing essentially in this MacBook Air. It's an absolute beast, honestly. It's amazing. It's actually, I think, better than my computer. I might have to swap out, and I've got a Mac Studio. So yeah, Zion's asking, where can I ask more about mentorship? So yeah, definitely book a call in with me. Get the link for you. So the link I'll put in the chat for you now. Basically, that's essentially we'll do a discovery call. We'll have a chat, essentially. So I guess the whole process behind the mentoring discovery call is that we just have a chat. I understand your business, where you are, in your business, what your goals are. And then I guess I can tell you about the mentoring program during that, and then we can decide if it looks like a good fit for you. I'm evaluating you as much as you're evaluating me. So, I'm going to make sure it's right for you. Like I said, I've kind of turned down or said to people, like some people like we'll do it another time, or it's not quite right for you yet. Either from my comfort point of view, like I had one guy come to me who was already making like 10,000 a month, and I was like, well, I make 10,000 a month. I don't know if I can teach you anything. Now, if he came from he was like, I make 10,000 from wholesale and on an arbitrage, that'd be a different thing. But he was pretty much doing the same as me. So I was like, I don't really feel comfortable doing that. And then other people just, it's just not right for their business. I wouldn't feel comfortable taking the money out of their business when they're still growing. So, I'm not just getting it for the money. I want to make sure it's right for everyone. But it's going to be an absolute killer program, honestly, guys. It's going to be the best mentoring program out there. And by the end of it, you're going to be thanking me because you'll be able to 10 or 100x the money you've made in it throughout your business career, essentially, and beyond. I've been working super hard on it, and it's an absolute killer program, honestly. It's insane. It is way too cheap as well. It is way too cheap. I'm doing an introductory offer right now, and I'm thinking to myself, this is way too cheap, honestly. The amount of value that I'm giving is just ridiculous, basically. I didn't want to talk about it. I wasn't necessarily going to promote this, but it's ridiculous. I'm like, well, I don't want to swear, but Christ, this is such good value. Anyway, toot my own horn here, but yeah, I've been working hard on it, and it's going to be amazing. Anyway, cool. Can you share any insider OA tips or strategies you teach in your mentorship that most sellers wouldn't know about? Interesting. So you want some free info. The best... Actually, I did it the wrong way. When I'm looking on Caps like a mirror, that was the wrong way. So basically, the biggest tip I can give you, I don't know if it's necessarily something that's in the mentoring program, but I always say when you're doing online arbitrage, you need to go where the sales are. So you need to find where the sales are. Now, how do you find the sales? There's loads of different ways you can do that. You can look at price drop websites. You can use newsletters. You can use tools like Arbisource or other similar tools like Sellability. Go where the sales are. That's the very first thing I'm going to say, is that you don't just, when you're doing online arbitrage, the first mistake I see people making is they just go, okay, they wake up in the morning, like, okay, I'm going to do some sourcing now. I'm going to go to, I don't know, John Lewis, okay, just randomly for no reason. And then go on John Lewis, and, I didn't find anything. It's like, yeah, you just went to a random website at a random time for no reason, essentially. You need to go where the sales are. So you wait until John Lewis are running a killer sale, and then you go on their website and you source where the sales are. So that gives you a way. I'm not saying you can't find a deal if you go to a random website at a random time, but the odds of you find, and it's an odds game, the odds of you finding a deal then are lower than if you go somewhere where there's a massive sale going on. That's the first tip. The second tip I'm going to say is finding, you might see something where something's on sale somewhere, and that might not be profitable itself, but you need to take that next level of going, okay, well, that's given me the identification there's a sale going on there. And I always say to people that when there's smoke, there's fire. So if you see a sale for one thing on there, let's say you see iPhones are on sale somewhere, okay, John Lewis, for example. Well, you can't sell iPhones. So if you're just doing a cursory little glance, you go, well, that's no good for me. But then you got to wonder, well, iPhones are on sale, so what else is on sale? And it might just be iPhones are on sale and nothing else is. Or maybe it's like tech is on sale and there's a 30% coupon code or whatever it's going to be. So it's the whole concept of like where there's smoke, there's fire, essentially. Is probably the best tips I can give you. Other than that, you'll have to get the mentoring program, basically. But yeah, I hope that kind of helps, I suppose. But that's probably the biggest tip I can say to people when it comes to doing online arbitrage sourcing is, yeah, go where the sales are and where there's smoke, there's fire. They're pretty much those two kind of things, really. As I said multiple times, Amazon's a simple business, but it's not an easy business. So, yeah, it's a simple concept, but it's not necessarily easy to learn. You can definitely learn it all yourself, but if you want to pay for mentoring and learning, reach out, links in the description, book a call with me, and we'll have a chat and see if it's right, see if you like me. You might not like me, I don't know. I think I'm a pretty likable guy, but some people don't like me, and I'll see if it's right for you as well, and we can go from there, essentially. So yeah, it's looking good, and we've got, I think, 5 or 6 people looking to start in October 1st, which is looking pretty nice. So yeah, and I won't go too much into what you get. If you want to know, you have to find it in the mentorship program, in the discovery call. I'll talk about all the different things you get, what we teach, everything like that, all the benefits in there, if you do that. But yeah, it's a lot, basically. Cool. I hope that helped anyway, Cameron. How much is it? Again, if you want to know the price, book a call with me, please. I'm not going to say on here. It's pricey, but it's at the same time it's a bargain as well. So it's like, in terms, book a call with me. We can have a chat. I'll tell you about it all. And we'll go from there, basically. If I just tell you the price, you'd be like, oh, that's crazy expensive. But once I've told you all the benefits and stuff, and then tell you the price, a bit of a sales technique, I suppose, you'll realize it's a bargain, basically. So, if you want to find out, book the call with me and we'll have a chat. And you know what? It doesn't have to be a sales call, even if you just want to ask me questions, even if you've got no intention of doing the mentoring program. All right, book that call with me anyway. We'll have a chat, because it's my favorite topic to talk about is business and Amazon and stuff. And I enjoy chatting to people. And if I can just give you some tips anyway, I'll do that and give you some guidance in your business. So I'm happy to do that. It's fine. I'm not just in this for the money. I'm doing this because I enjoy it and I enjoy helping people. If I can make money while I'm doing it, I'll definitely do that, but that's not my primary focus, essentially. Money is an interesting thing. It definitely was a big driver for me for a long time in my life, where it was like my main focus. But it sounds really weird, but money isn't everything. I never thought I'd say that, to be fair, but there's more to life than money. Let's put it like that, essentially. And you got to be happy and fulfilled in what you do. I've done things in the past, like jobs, where I was making lots of money, but it wasn't a very fulfilling job. So, and I wasn't very happy with it. So I've actually found something now which I really enjoy doing. I can't wait to get out of bed in the morning. I make good money from it, don't get me wrong, but yeah, it's also fulfilling for me as well. So yeah, getting into my kind of I don't know, it's weird anyway, because if you ask someone when I was 30 or something like that, I'd been like, yeah, money. But no, there's more things that are there's more to life than just making money. Basically, you need to be interested and enjoy what you do as well. So is your mentoring just greedy sourcing? Absolutely not. No, that is probably to be honest, the Cogito sourcing is in there, but I'd actually say to you, just go and watch one of my videos for Cogito sourcing, because I pretty much teach everything about Cogito sourcing in my live videos and the videos I've done. I don't hide anything about Cogito sourcing. I've literally taught you everything that I do. I literally do that every day. I basically use Cogito price drops every hour. Or essentially the process that I do is when I wake up, on days that I'm sourcing, I'll basically take every price drop that's happened from like midnight to when I've woken up, let's say 9 a.m, so to 9 a.m. I'll use ChatGPT to combine those into one thing, run that scan through Arbisource, and then basically every hour, on the hour, when the new price drop list comes in for that hour's worth of price drops, I'll throw that into Arbisource. It takes 5 minutes or less to scan, I'll run through it quickly, and just do that every sort of 5 minutes. Every hour, I'll do that. It takes 2 to 5 minutes, essentially. Cogito is literally, I mean, it's in there, but you don't need it really. No, it's a lot of other sourcing strategies, all the online sourcing strategies that I know of, and even ones that I don't know of, because I've got someone who's helping me with the mentoring. So it's a lot. And then not only is it that, you also are going to get a bunch of stuff around business systems as well. How to actually run your Amazon business professionally, how to plug all the leaks in your Amazon business, and do all the admin and all the stuff behind it. How to scale your business as well. I'd say it's probably 70% sourcing and 30% like business systems and and mindset as well, which is a very important thing, and things like that essentially. So I'd say it's 70% sourcing and then 30% like business systems, getting you organized, setting you up to run a professional Amazon business. So taking you into the pro leagues essentially, and getting all those systems in place so that when you are making crap loads of money and you're buying loads of items through the sourcing method, you're not leaking money like a sieve basically, which if you're not careful you will end up doing. It's definitely happened to me in the past. So you get all that as well. So I've not heard of Arbisource before. Could you quickly explain how it works? Sure, yeah. So you can get there's a link above, and if you use that link above and use the code FBAMogul30, you can get a 7-day free trial and 30% off your first month. Arbisource essentially is a tool that allows you, it's got multiple different features. So one of them is it allows you to scan a wholesale list. So you take a wholesale list from Cogito, for example, or the price drops, and the price drops essentially they get spit out in a file called a CSV file. It's just a file that basically all the price drops in it. You put that into Arbisource, and basically it'll run through that wholesale list essentially and show you the profitable products or unprofitable ones as well on Amazon essentially. It also lets you scan websites like John Lewis or Currys or Sports Direct or Look Fantastic or hundreds of other ones as well essentially. It lets you scan those. You can even do custom scans as well, so even sites it doesn't support, it has a cool Chrome extension which lets you essentially scan that site. It's got so many other features on there. It's got price drops, you can do reverse sourcing on people and even products. You've got the Vault as well. There's so many things on there. Honestly, it's an amazing tool. So it's pretty cool. Again, just book one of those calls with me, the Cogito one or the mentoring one. And we can just talk about that as well in there if you want. But yeah, it's no problem. So what sourcing techniques will you teach apart from Cogito? Book a call with me, mate, and I'll talk about it. So yeah, book a call with me and we can go through it, mate. But yeah, it's all the ones that I know essentially. So yeah, it's all pretty much on arbitrage though. So it's not wholesale apart from Cogito. If you want to learn Cogito, like I say, pretty much everything Cogito I've already taught. And Cogito, like I say, is it wholesale, is it OA? It's a mixture, it's a hybrid. It's pretty much all on an arbitrage. So I don't teach private label, don't teach private direct, don't teach wholesale. It is basically every on an arbitrage method that I know to find deals. And you guys know I love on an arbitrage. So I mean, some of the best deals you're going to get is to be fair, we'll talk about A2A as well if you want. The thing is, there is a curriculum in this. We've built out a curriculum, but we'll tailor things to you essentially. So there is like on an arbitrage in there and all the different things. There's A2A, there is Cogito in there. If you say, hey, I'm not too fussed about Cogito, or I want to learn A2A first, we'll move that to week 1 essentially. So while we have a curriculum, we will tailor it to you essentially. Which will happen on the onboarding call. Essentially, we'll understand your business, your goals, all that kind of stuff, and tailor everything to you. So if you really want to learn one method first, then that will go straight to the front, basically. But yeah, So it's tailored to you essentially. So yeah, book a call with me and we can have a chat basically and see if it's right for you. MTT. Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, sign up and stuff. Even if you, like I say, even if you don't necessarily want to do the mentoring program, you just want to talk to me for an hour or so about and just get some guidance on your business. You got a question about Cogito or I don't know, something, whatever you want to ask, A2A, we can do it through that basically. I mean, MTT, I think you probably A2A, you probably got that. You're probably just as good as me at A2A, to be honest. You might be able to teach me a few things about A2A. I'm pretty good at A2A, to be fair, but there's always things to learn, isn't there? But yeah, we'll run through that and make sure that's all good, basically. But yeah, you may be like, oh, I'm good at A2A. I don't need all the, in which case it'll be focused on other things. So yeah. So MTT saying, OA is best for making a margin. I think so. I think you get some sane deals, yes. Cogito's good for price drops, but only by limited stock quantity. I agree with that as well, yes. I'm always going to be very careful about how much stock's available. I have seen price drops happen where there's like 10,000 stock. And then you look at this listing and it's like, even if it sells like 500 a month, I'll be like, 10,000 to 500. If I could get all 10,000, I knew for absolute certain it wouldn't restock. I might consider buying that, but you just never know. When you see something like 10,000, you're like, that to me just reeks restock, to be fair. When it's like an odd number, like 78 or 96 or something, it feels more like it's like end of line. Not end of line, but like they maybe got limited quantities. So you are right. You've got to be careful with those stock levels. And so I've seen a few ones where the quantities available, even though it's a killer buy, is just way too high. And you're like, well, that margin's going to get killed given how much stock there is. So you got to be careful with that as well, yeah. And don't buy stock from Grit. There's a huge supply. Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Pretty much. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, MTT. So yeah, MTT switched on. He knows what he's talking about. So yeah, you're exactly right. So he's asking, is Chris doing your prep or you new to prep center? I don't know if I can answer that. I don't know if I can actually answer that or not. Let's just say I can't say. Which maybe already answers it anyway, to be fair. So, yeah. I can't answer that one. Sorry about that. If you're looking for a good prep center, use Your Prep Mate. So, I don't have permission to talk about it, basically, and it's not in my place to talk about it. So, yeah, I can't answer that one, unfortunately. But yeah, if you're looking for a recommendation, Your Prep Mate is the one to go for prep. What is your spend this month so far? That's a good question, actually. Not a huge amount. I'd say probably about 15k is what I've done. I think I've done about 8 or 9,000 on Cogito so far. To be honest, this month I've not been too focused on sourcing. I need to really get back on it, to be fair. But yeah, I've done about 15,000 in purchasing. So, and that's about 3 or 4 orders, I'd say. I'd say it's about 7 or 8,000, I think, on Cogito. The rest of it was elsewhere. When do we go full steam ahead for Q? Now, basically, yeah, now, honestly, now. But yeah, if you get deals now for stuff that's going to do well for Q4, then definitely go for it. I'd say don't wait. I mean, any time from now and November 30th, I guess, and even after that, depends where you're ordering it from. Yeah, definitely, go now, basically, 100%. If you see some good deals and you look at the prices in Q4 and they look good, definitely go now. Yeah. Why does I get a message? Oh, it's not. It's okay. Excuse me, God, dying there. It was my Aura ring saying to stand up. But yeah. Excuse me, God. Which retailers are doing sales right now? I'm not sure, actually. I'd have to have a look. Let me have a look now, actually, and see what looks good. So, I mean, a good strategy is Hot UK Deals. You've probably heard of that one. Have a look and see whether there's some sales going on. I'm not going to reveal the exact sites I've bought from recently. If you want that, you have to go through the mentoring program. But there's many that I've already mentioned before. So, in many other different live streams. But yeah, just go where the sales are, basically. There's plenty. Go to Cogito, go to other places. I like John Lewis. I mean, I've probably spent 100k on John Lewis in my lifetime, probably. That's a good one. Sports Direct. I genuinely think Sports Direct, you can probably make a living just from Sports Direct, to be fair. Not like a crazy living, but you could make a good living from Sports Direct. And yeah, there's a few little tips there, basically. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to go to these kind of like tiny little sites, although you can do, to find deals. You can pretty much a lot of the deals I buy from massive places. Not just those ones, but from other ones as well. Home Bargains is one I don't actually order from. Can you even order online on Home Bargains, actually? I don't actually know if you can even order. This shows you I've basically never ordered from there. So, no. But then, there's that links thing. That's yeah, okay. I've seen the site before. I think maybe I've ordered once or twice, maybe. Yeah, but no, not really. No, I don't. To be honest, there are so many deals out there that, yeah, I probably don't even order from I order from 1% of the sites you could order from, and I'm still running out of money and still got plenty of deals. You just kind of this is the thing as well, which comes from doing Amazon for a few years. You kind of find where you have success, and I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but kind of stick to where you have successes. So while I say to people, hey, sign up to 600, 700 newsletters, see where you have success. If you buy from John Lewis and you have good success, then I mean, we as humans, we learn from success and failures, don't we? So, or successes and lessons, as I say, and and just carry on going from there where you have successes. So, if you are having good success with Home Bargains, there's a certain site that I never order from. That's called M&M Direct. I've had so many bad buys from there that I refuse to order from there now, even though people tell me there's good deals on there. I've been burned so many times. I'm just not gonna. I refuse to buy from there. I think every single deal I bought from M&M Direct, I've lost money. So, and it's, again, while people have told me, hey, you can make good money on there, I don't know how they do it because I can't figure it out, basically. But then there's other sites where I have I have really good success from. So, yeah. Have you ordered from various Notino Europe sites? No. What are those? And obviously there's Notino, but what do you mean Europe sites? I've no idea what you mean there, actually. I'll be honest, I've not ordered from Notino in a while. Ever since I've discovered Cogita, I really don't order from Notino anymore, apart from for Ungates. I used to order from Notino quite a lot. I had some really good brands that I sold. I think it was last year Q4, or even the Q before, but that Guerlain, I can never pronounce it, Guerlain or something that's called. It was a really good one. That was a really nice seller, actually. They did really well. Was a really good one. I've been burned a few times on Notino with Burberry. That Burberry Weekend, I think it was called, which you could never sell. A few other ones. Yeah. Anyway, it's a good site, to be fair, and they definitely have some good sales going on. Yeah, it's a good site. I just don't actually order from there anymore. If I'm doing perfumes, aftershaves, that kind of thing, I get it from Cogita. See, I didn't even know that. There you go. So, yeah, when it comes to EU, that's definitely a blind spot for me, 100%. I know people are moving more towards it, buying from European retailers and selling in the UK. I do Amazon EU to Amazon UK, but I don't do Amazon EU. Sorry, sort of OA EU to UK, essentially. But I know it's a good one. One thing I will teach you in the mentorship program is EFN and doing UK to be honest, there's so many different ways you can do this thing. But yeah, teaching you UK to Germany, France, Spain. I mean, Germany's the big one. France, I guess, is second. It depends on the products. Doing that, essentially, teaching you how to do that, how to source that. The EFN side of things. But yeah, I've even seen people order from USA, buying from USA retailers, and even with all the import fees and stuff, they make really good money on those products. There are so many ways to do this business, and honestly, I probably only know, I don't know, half of them maybe, probably even less. And what I've got works, but there are so many ways. And the more you can think outside the box, the better, basically. There are so many ways to make money on Amazon. It's ridiculous. And if you're willing to go that extra mile, like going to Europe or whatever, there's that guy on YouTube. I only discovered him when the STK leak happened. Ricky, I think his name is, and he does like RA all over Europe. And I was like, wow, that's really awesome that he goes all around Europe buying products. I was like, that is hardcore with his van, and yeah, it was crazy. So yeah, I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. I know Europe can be really good for stuff, to be fair. Their prices are way better than ours. It's rip off Britain, isn't it, basically? So EFN is a pain, a pitter, yeah, is a pain. You got to get ungated on all your Amazon sites. So I don't know if that's true or not. I'm trying to think back now, because I feel like whenever I ungate on one European site, it's saying that the only one I've really had to ungate is Nike. I don't think I've ever had any other issues, and even then, I feel like, did I have to do every one, or did I just do like Germany? It went across all of them. It's been a while, to be fair, but I pretty much have very few issues on with European sites. I feel like 90% of the ones I'm ungated on the UK, I'm then ungated on in most European stores. Occasionally, you do run into ones where, for whatever reason, you can't sell it in Germany, or there's some restriction in France or something. You know, obviously every site is different, essentially, so there might be some restriction or something going on there. But yeah, I always make sure that I can create the listing and it looks okay before I buy the stuff. Yeah, it might be you, mate. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it was good. I'm impressed, to be fair. It just shows you all the ways that you can definitely kind of source for Amazon. There's no right or wrong way. There's just loads of ways, and find what works for you. Really, it's probably the best advice I can give you. And the more outside the box you can do it, and you can the better. Really, the deeper you can go, the better. And so there's no right or wrong way. There's just loads of ways. There's dozens of ways to source items, and the biggest tip I can give you is just change your mindset from a mindset of scarcity to a mindset of abundance. Because when you first get into Amazon, even though I had it, I was like, there's not that many deals online, are there? But there really are. There are more deals than you got money for. Even when you got £1 million, you wouldn't be able to spend it all. You'd run out of money. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, cool. Any other questions? But yeah, going around the EU. I mean, I think he does live in the EU, so it makes it a little bit easier. But yeah, it's definitely like hardcore. I've heard even like he runs out of space in his van halfway through the trip. But yeah, he's got all these different there's a lot of toys, doesn't he? All these toy retailers and stuff like that all over Europe and like Spain, France. I don't know which countries he goes to actually. But yeah, it's crazy, really. But yeah, it obviously works for him, which is awesome. Cool, guys. Any other questions then? Any comments, questions? I guess we're buying a silver MacBook then for the giveaway, since no one else has given a suggestion that I saw. So, oh yeah, silver. We've got 2 silvers. So yeah, we'll go for that then. I think we'll go for silver. I'll buy that after this and go from there. So that's £840 a giveaway for the MacBook. Yeah, so not too bad. Don't forget to enter that giveaway. Very few people have entered. I've not really been pushing that hard. But yeah, I should have pushed it harder. I spent a fortune giving away these things. The platform alone costs like £400 to host for a year. That Gleam.io. But yeah, anyway, it is what it is. Yeah, it is what it is. I like to give back to you guys. Why can't I do my hair correctly? Yeah, it is what it is. I like to give away the thing for you guys every year. And hopefully we'll get to the point where we can give away 2 or 3. I'd love to get to that point where we can do 2 or 3 MacBooks. But yeah, this year it's 1 MacBook, 1 pair of AirPods, and £100 Amazon voucher. So first, second, and third prize. So considering there's only 65 people that have entered, that gives you a pretty good chance of winning something, to be fair. So yeah, that's a pretty good odds of winning something. And you can't win more than 1 prize as well, so it's going to be spread around. But yeah, awesome. All right, unless anyone's got any more questions, we'll wrap it up there. I guess it's a bit of a slow one today. Well, actually, no, it's been a load of questions, actually, but not a slow one, a short one. But yeah, I massively appreciate everyone coming on. It's been awesome. Maybe I should spread these out a bit. Maybe I should do something like Monday, Thursday, maybe instead. And just give it a bit more of a gap. Yeah, I'm not sure anyway. We'll see, basically. Maybe I'll change the Wednesday to a Thursday. Awesome, guys. Well, thanks very much for coming on. I massively appreciate all the regular people coming on, all the new people coming on. Again, don't forget, check out all the other videos on my channel. There's loads of information on there. I know I've not been posting as many videos as I should have been doing. There is going to be a vlog coming out tomorrow. I edited it today. It'll be out tomorrow. And more videos coming soon. You've got my community as well. Come and hang out. Come and ask me questions. And if you want to have a chat with me, ask about mentoring, ask about Amazon, ask about Kugita, use the link in the description, and and book a call in with me, and we'll have a chat, basically. Awesome, guys. Massively appreciate you guys coming on, and I'll see you guys on Monday, 8 p.m. Right. Have a good weekend, or rest of the week and weekend, everyone.